The rise of a digital leader. Ryan Cole appeared on social media almost overnight. Within a few years, his audience exploded. Millions of followers on YouTube, millions more on TikTok and Instagram. His videos were simple. He sat in front of a camera and spoke directly to the viewer. Calm voice, confident posture, direct eye contact. His message was always about success and personal growth. You were not meant to live an average life. Most people are trapped by their own thinking. If you want to change your life, you must think differently. But Ryan had a special ability. When he spoke, it felt personal, almost like he was speaking directly to you. Viewers often commented the same thing. It feels like he understands exactly what I'm going through. This emotional connection made Ryan extremely powerful online. But connection can also be a psychological tool. Emotional triggers. One of Ryan's followers was Torres, a 26-year-old graphic designer. She discovered Ryan's videos during a difficult period in her life. His content felt motivating. Every video seemed to deliver a powerful message. But after watching for several months, Maya began noticing a pattern. Ryan's videos followed the same emotional structure. First, he introduced a problem. Most people waste their entire lives. Then he introduced fear. If you don't wake up now, you will regret it 10 years from today. And finally, he offered a solution. I'm going to show you how to break free. This psychological structure is extremely effective. It is known as the problem, fear, solution model. First, you make the audience feel uncomfortable. Then you introduce fear. Then you position yourself as the guide who can save them. Maya realized that almost every video Ryan posted followed this pattern. But most viewers didn't notice, because emotionally, the videos felt powerful. Identity manipulation. Ryan didn't just give advice, he created an identity. In many of his videos, he used phrases like, "We are different. We are not like the average people. We are the ones who see the truth." These sentences might seem simple, but psychologically they are extremely powerful. Humans have a deep need to belong to a group. Ryan's followers began to feel like they were part of something special, not just an audience, a community. In the comments section, people often wrote things like, "We are awake. We are not like the others. We understand the truth." Ryan was not just building a following, he was building a psychological tribe. Fear-based messaging. Over time, Ryan's messages became darker. He began talking about how the world worked against successful people. The system doesn't want you to succeed. Most people around you will try to hold you back. Your friends may not understand your growth. At first, these ideas sounded motivational. But Maya began to see the deeper psychological effect. These messages created fear and distrust. Followers began questioning the people around them, friends, family, co-workers. And whenever those doubts appeared, Ryan repeated the same solution. This is why our community matters. This is why we support each other. Psychologically, this technique strengthens loyalty. When people begin feeling disconnected from the outside world, they become more attached to the group and more attached to the leader. Creating dependency. Ryan uploaded new videos almost every day. Each one delivered a burst of motivation. Viewers felt energized after watching. But that feeling didn't last. After a few hours or a few days, the motivation faded. So followers returned for the next video, then the next, then the next. Without realizing it, many viewers developed a habit. They depended on Ryan's content to feel inspired. This is a subtle psychological technique. If someone repeatedly controls your emotional state, you begin returning to them again and again, not because you must, but because your brain expects that emotional reward. Maya notices the pattern. One evening, Maya decided to watch some of Ryan's oldest videos. What she discovered surprised her. The messages were almost identical to his newest content. Different words, different examples, but the same emotional structure. Problem, fear, solution, community, and always, Ryan positioned as the guide. Maya started wondering something unsettling. Was Ryan truly helping people grow? Or was he carefully controlling how they felt?
The hidden background. Curious,
Maya began researching Ryan Cole online. She watched interviews he had given years earlier. She searched through old podcasts. Eventually, she discovered something interesting. Before becoming an influencer, Ryan had studied behavioral psychology in college. He had even written a thesis about persuasion and emotional influence. But he never mentioned this in his videos. To his followers, he presented himself simply as someone who had figured out life. Maya felt a strange chill, because now the patterns made sense. Ryan didn't just understand motivation, he understood how human emotions can be guided and controlled. The real strategy. The more Maya analyzed Ryan's content, the clearer his strategy became. Ryan wasn't simply motivating people, he was carefully managing their emotional states. First, he created dissatisfaction. You are not living the life you deserve. Then he introduced fear. If you continue like this, you will regret everything. Then he created belonging. We are the ones who understand the truth. And finally, he positioned himself as the source of guidance. I will show you the way. This psychological structure created something powerful. Loyal followers who trusted him deeply. And in the world of social media, trust can be extremely profitable. Courses, memberships, exclusive communities, millions of dollars. Ryan's empire wasn't built on simple motivation. It was built on psychological influence. The final realization. One night, Maya looked through Ryan's comment sections again. Thousands of people wrote the same kinds of messages. You changed my life. I only listen to your advice now. You understand me better than anyone. And suddenly Maya realized something important. Ryan's followers believed they were becoming more independent. But psychologically, many of them were becoming more dependent. Dependent on Ryan's message. Dependent on Ryan's guidance. Dependent on Ryan's approval. What looked like empowerment might actually be a carefully designed system of influence. Protecting your mind in the digital age. Social media has changed the way humans communicate. Today, one person can influence millions of minds. And sometimes that influence can be positive, but sometimes it can become something else. Because the same psychological techniques used in advertising, politics, and persuasion can also be used by influencers. Emotional triggers, fear-based messaging, identity manipulation, creating psychological dependency. This doesn't mean every influencer is manipulative, but it reminds us of something important. In the digital world, the most powerful defense is critical thinking. Because when someone speaks to millions through a screen, they might be inspiring you, or they might be quietly shaping how you think. And the difference between influence and control is sometimes very difficult to see.